so mari rai. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. देखो सुनो मत बोलो. Wherever, whenever, whatever you are, be 100% कर्नाटक. किसी को आओ मत कहो, किसी को जाओ मत कहो. ना कुछ पाना ना कुछ खोना. Who asked you live at zero complaint level? मौज में रहो, be happy.
Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna, Shri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. The story is two brothers. One was extremely erudite scholar and other was established in the truth. What we have seen earlier, Madhyama Jnani and Uttama Jnani. Madhyam Jnani, the one who is very well versed in scriptures, but he had not yet merged in the absolute. And therefore there are efforts in his life. And Uttama Jnani is Sahajananda, effortless. See, whenever we talk our experience, we don't have to prepare. See, just imagine, for the sake of imagination, if somebody asks you to talk about the childhood of Vivekananda, what will you do? Go to Google, collect information, and then read it out. So time given to you was 10 minutes. But the information that you collected, presented, is over in 3 minutes. Now what will you do? Remaining time, you have to fill that time. Okay, now you talk about your own childhood. Will you say, I had to go to Google? See, when we talk experience, no preparation is required. See, so Uttama Jnani is abiding in the truth effortlessly, and therefore he is able to deal with any inquiry without any preparation. This was the story of the Hemangada. So, the first two questions we have seen. आकाशात् वितता या स्यात् सूक्ष्मा च परमाणुतः सा किं रूपा स्थिता कुत्र वद एतत् पुत्रक नृपपुत्रक. So what is that which is bigger than the biggest and subtler than the subtlest? And what is the nature of that and where it is? Kindly tell me. This was the question asked by the Brahma Rakshas. In reply, the student or Hemangada told, Vitata Chiti Akashat. Consciousness is more expanded than the space. Sukshma cha paramanutaha. It is subtler than the subtlest. And Spuratvam kim Atma. And what is the meaning of the Atma, Spurana? Kindly tell. So, the answer is given. Karanatvat hi vitata. That which is a cause, it pervades everything. Now try to understand it. Without the space, nothing can exist. See? If there is no space, where will you keep the things? So, space is the cause which is supporting all the contents. And cause is non-specific, contents are specific. See? So, this space is pervaded by the conscious space, and therefore it is subtler than the subtlest. And it is so small, and where it is, so it is Spurana and Atma. They are words, two meaning is one and the same. See, Spurana means there are two types of experiences. One type of experience demands involvement of mind and sense organs. See. And the second type of experience is which does not involve mind and sense organs. See, if we want to know what the space is like, now space doesn't have sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha, these four qualities. Therefore, you cannot know the space by these four sense organs. See? So, the second experience is that which does not involve any means of knowledge, which includes sense organs, mind and the intellect. Sense organs can comprehend only 5 objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Mind can comprehend only experiences, joy, sorrows, etc. Intellect can comprehend only the concepts. Now the truth is neither an object of knowledge, so sense organs meaningless, nor it is an emotion of joy and sorrows, therefore mind is dropped. And the truth is not a concept, therefore intellect is dropped. And after we drop everything, what remains is this Purana and Atma, one and the same. See, friends, we have to consciously remain aware of these facts. See? Therefore, how come it is ekapi sa ativitassa katham sukshmatara bhavet puratvam kim kim atma cha vadayetat nrupanandana. See? So, the question asked is this. How the consciousness or the chiti is subtler than the space, and it is subtler than the paramanu, and how this consciousness is living in Atma is the question. Then the student asked this question. Now this king's son, Hemangada, he replies. See? This is very important thing to know. Ekapi sa ati vidita katham sukshmatara bhave spuratvam kim kim atma cha. Now, karanatvathi vitata. Cause permeates the effects. The effects cannot remain without cause. But the cause is independent of the effect. And therefore, never get lost into this question, why? It's like that one. Mind does not want to die, so either the mind takes us in the past memories or future planning. This is what happens with many students. When they sit for meditation, they have to plan. After meditation is over, guests are coming, I have to prepare something. Should I prepare upma? It's a very good, huge quantity, enough for everybody. So, the whole meditation is preparing upma. These two things we told you very clearly. Remain as nobody, you will block your past. And don't take any sankalpa what you will do after meditation. The net result is you are in utter present. Then this will be understood. Karanatvat hi vitata sukshma agrahyatvatah apicha. And why it is so subtle? Because it cannot be comprehended by any means of knowledge. See? Now we cannot comprehend the space. None of our sense organs can catch the space. So what we have to do? We have to go beyond the sense organs and understand. Space is formless, supports all the forms. Space is not against anything, therefore supports all the elements. Presence or absence of contents have no impact on the space. Now these principles apply in yourself. Otherwise it will become only objective understanding. Start from the eyes. Now you are 50 of us here. I am looking at you, seeing all of you. Suppose you become 500. Will it be a burden for the eyes? No. And if all of you disappear, is there any problem to the eyes? No. So what is the principle? Principle is that which supports or that which illuminates is not influenced by what is illumined. So the vision illuminates colors and forms. So presence and absence of colors and forms do not bother the vision. Now generalize this. We support the waking, dream, deep sleep and samadhi. Whether it is waking or the dream, nothing is added to us. Because waking and dream are bhavatmak. And deep sleep and samadhi, we don't lose anything. You don't have to understand, you have to stand under this. While listening itself, the experience happens. It is not after satsanga. Therefore, karanatvat hi vitata sukshma agrahyatvatah. It cannot be comprehended by any known means of knowledge. Further, spuratvam atma cha chiti, and that which is supporting all this thing, the consciousness itself is the atma. See, the man himself is the husband, not different. Sunutvam brahma rakshasa. Then further question. Sthanam tat upalabdho kim katham va sopalabhyate upalabdha cha kim va syat etad nrupanandana. Sthanam tad upalabdho kim. See, where this chiti or consciousness is available, where do we find it? See, upalabdhi, where we have to see. And katham va sa upalabhyate, and how do we get this consciousness? Then upalabdha cha kim va syat. See, and suppose I get consciousness, so what? Kim said. Now see, what is the problem in this question? The problem is, he wants to know how do we get the consciousness. You don't get. Therefore our Mahamantra, ना कुछ पाना, ना कुछ खोना. You don't have to become divine. See? So, the Rajkumar tells, Dhihi sthana upalabdhautu स्वैका सा एकाग्र्यात् उपलभ्यते उपलब्धात् जनिर्न स्यात् शृणुत्वं ब्रह्म राक्षस. Now, where is this consciousness available? Listen. It is available in the buddhi, in the intellect. See. There are many examples given in Bhagavad also. Suppose there is a thatch house or a room, and there are small little holes somewhere, and when the ray of the sun enters through that hole in your room, from that you infer, oh, there is a sunrise. You don't have to go to see sun outside, sunrise or not. Here also, the consciousness is available in the buddhi. He will ask the question, what is buddhi also? So first of all, we take this much only. Available in buddhi. Now buddhi is what? Buddhi is knowledge. What is consciousness? That is also knowledge. Then what is the difference between these two? That knowledge which involves the operation of thoughts is buddhi, and that knowledge which does not operate through the thoughts is consciousness. See? Consciousness with thoughts is buddhi or mind, whatever you call, and mind without the thoughts is consciousness. Man with the wife is husband. Husband without the wife is man. Now in this, who is real? Husband or wife or man? In short, because of the upadhi conditioning, it appears as if it has become many. See? Therefore, in this buddhi, the truth is available. And how it is available? It is available by chitta ekagrata. See? Sa ekagran upalabhyate. So we have to have our mind or buddhi ekagra. Ekagra means what? Wherever you are, whenever you are, whatever you are 100%. Ekagra. Our condition is we are cooking and we are thinking something else, and then we add 2 times salt in dal and 2 times mirchi in the sabji, and when you take food you have to make an average of it and eat. I don't know why this happened. Because ekagrata is not there. Yesterday also I told you, this is to be very clearly understood. Mind goes through 5 stages. I am repeating it. First is kshipta, always agitated. Going on. See? Second is mood, absolutely dull-witted. 2 extremes. Third one is obsessed. You must have seen there are many people who are obsessed with something or the other. There was one student who was studying. He was obsessed with perfection. And I used to learn a lot from him. When he will be sitting in the lecture and he has to fold his this sleeve, he will fold it, and I am giving lecture. He will fold it and again undo it. And again undo it. Unless it comes perfectly, he will continue with that. You must have seen there are people who are so obsessed. That is vikshipta. So under these 3 conditions, the mind is not fit for spiritual practice. Then next comes the ekagra. Now how can we cultivate ekagrata, single pointedness? Only by one technique. And the technique is, when you have value for something, your mind becomes single pointed, focused. In one of my management bluffs, I did this experiment. Management is a myth. Mismanagement is the truth. See? So, I made a drama and told the servant, I said, when we start, you come with that money and give me. Swamiji, this is the remaining amount, take it. I'll ask you, count. And then you will hesitate, but I'll scold you. No, you count in front of me. So, he started counting. And all the necktie-dhari, all those students, when he was counting, they started counting. 2, 3, 4. And I was also counting loudly. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. Immediately, Swamiji, after 3 you said 6, you have miscalculated. I said, did I ask you to count? Observe this. Anywhere anybody is counting money, if you happen to stand by, you keep on counting. Then you want a guru. Guru is our ability to learn from every passing experience. Don't look outside. See? Now, why this happens? Because we have value for the money. See? So, why our mind is not single pointed, ekagra? Because we have no value for spiritual life. Do you think, Swamiji, we are coming, cry? It doesn't make any difference to me. See? The most valuable commodity in the whole universe is our peace of mind. See? If you are convinced of this, your mind will be always available to you for whatever you want to do in life. That is ekagra bhumika. Now this is what I said here, that धी स्थानम उपलब्धौ तु सा एकाग्रात उपलभ्यते. So we have to make the buddhi, intellect single pointed only by recognizing the value for the spiritual life. Now all of you are coming here in the cold, early morning and everything. So unless you have value, you will not come here. See? And you are not paid for coming here, I hope. Like, in the political gatherings, I didn't know that. In Jaipur it happened. There was a big crowd. So, we were going, I said, hey, why are you hey, you don't know? There is a, election rally. So we bargain. How much you will give? 50, forget. They are giving me 500. And they take that money and go and enjoy and forget about it. Kisko bhi vote do. Therefore, sa aikagrat upalabhyate. We have to recognize the value for this. Upalabdhacha janina syat. See? Upalabdhacha. And when this, how the person is born, jani, na syat, is not born again. Meaning, we have to know our essential nature only once in lifetime. Because finite alone can be repeated. Infinite cannot be repeated. Therefore, What happens if I have no consciousness? He will be not born again. Now what is the birth? That is also is asked. धीकेयम समाख्याता तद ऐकाग्र्यम च कीदृशम जनि वापि भवेंकासा वद एतद नृपनंदन. Again question after question. See? Now his question is, please tell, what is intellect and how it is made single pointed and how a birth happens. See? So the answer is Chitir Jadyavrutadhi. Now be attentive. This is so important. Now what is intellect? Intellect is, be very attentive, knowledge where objectivity is predominant, that knowledge is called a buddhi. And that knowledge where objectivity is of no consequences is called a chiti or consciousness. If we have accepted this definition, then I want to see God, so you will be seeing God other than you. See? Therefore, intellect is that the consciousness is overpowered by avidya, ignorance or objectivity. And how it becomes single pointed? Now you can do it right now. Give an object as the object of knowledge to your mind, and that object should be infinite. First give a finite object. Ram, 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 Ram. Ram was supposed to come, he didn't come today. I don't know why he didn't come. Okay, Ram, Ram. When it is finite, you can repeat it. Now make silence as the object of knowledge. So what is single pointedness? We are remaining aware of the absence. Now be attentive. Absence is not an object. Absence of what? The absence of sound. And this absence of sound is infinite, uncreated. Like absence is infinite, and when our mind merges in the infinite, it merges in its own source. Therefore, chitta ekagrata means our mind is getting absorbed in its own source. Although this is not here, yet I am telling you, from toe up to the lions is Prithvi Tattva. From lions up to umbilicus is Jala Tattva. From the umbilicus up to the heart is Agni Tattva. From the heart up to the throat is the Vayu Tattva. From the throat up to the Bhrumadhya, between the two eyebrows, is Akash Tattva. And from Bhrumadhya up to the Sahasrar is Manas Tattva. So now we start dissolving. It's only Bhavana. So the Prithvi Tattva is slowly getting dissolved in the Jalas Tattva. So now below the loins there is nothing. Then the Jala Tattva is dissolved in the Agni Tattva. So below the umbilicus there is nothing. Now this Agni Tattva is dissolved in the air, Vayu Tattva. See? So below the throat there is nothing. And the Vayu Tattva is dissolved in the Akash Tattva. So below the eyebrows there is nothing. Now this mind begins from the Bhrumadhya up to Sahasrara. And the consciousness is beyond the Sahasrara. So when this mind, Manas Tattva, dissolves in consciousness, see, your body has completely disappeared. But you as awareness, consciousness is ever present. Because we have dropped the whole body, including the mind. Therefore, you cannot get any experience of any objective things like light, sound, fragrance. This is like when a pot breaks, the pot space merges in the total space. The pot, our body, through understanding we dropped. And we merge in pure consciousness, which is infinite. There will not be any pressure inside the heart or the head or the eyes. If you are developing some kind of pressure inside, you are going the wrong way. Because you are already out of body. When the pot space merges with the total space, Is it something new happens? No. Similarly, consciousness becomes intellect, buddhi, because of predominance of objectivity in knowledge. And when the objects of the world do not bother us, their presence or absence, then we have understood what is Chiti, Brahman, consciousness, Bhagavan, Paramatma. Chiti Jadyavruta Syat. Consciousness alone is the mind when importance is given to the objectivity in knowledge. And how we start giving importance to the objectivity? It starts from our body identification. So, Chiti Jadyavruta Syat. Aikagram Swatma Vishramaha. So when we drop all objectivity, you are at peace with yourself. Don't we experience this in the deep sleep? Then, Jani Dehatmata Buddhi. The question was, how the birth happens? Birth is identification with the body. See? These questions which come number of times. When the world is created, see, where from the world begins and where it ends. So what is the answer? Answer is, the world is created when you are identified with the body. Last night when you were sleeping, where were you? Space. When were you? Time. What were you? Object. Desha Kala Vastu Gayab. And what is the world? World is only Desha Kala Vastu. Bijasyantarivangkuro jagadidam prang nirvikalpam punaha maya kalpita desha kala kalana vaichitra chitri kritam. मायावीव विजृंभयत्यपि महायोगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. See, friends. Therefore, what is the birth? Where from the world begins? The world is created the moment we are identified with the body. See. When I am standing in front of my child, then immediately a mother is created. See? All loving, caring. When I stand in front of my husband, Mahakali is created. See? So, Dehatma Bhav, living as the body, is the first culprit to be sorted out. See, if this is our foundation, we cannot get attracted towards siddhis. See, somebody has got a pain in the back, you go and give him one heart and the pain is gone. Oh, Pain Ananda Maharaj ki jai. Remember, my dear friends, spiritual life is not fulfilling desires. Where desire fulfillment is the criteria, we are getting organized in samsara. No desires. This mantra I told you a number of times. This is my most favorite mantra. यदा सर्वे प्रमुच्यन्ते कामा यस्य वृद्धिश्रिताः अथमर्त्यः अमृतो भवति अत्र ब्रह्म समश्नुते. When we entertain zero desires, you are divine. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. See, friends. Therefore, when the world is created, when we are identified with the body, good. Where from the world begins? Our world begins from our gross body. Start from our gross body. And where the world ends again back to our own gross body. See? You know, in Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, 1st verse, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam Ashwatham Pravuravayam Chandamsi Yasya Paranani Yastam Veda Savedavit. One logically frustrated person asked, is it possible? Urdhva Moolam Adashakam, the tree, the roots are above and the branches are below. How it is possible? Forget if it is not possible. No, I want to know. I said, show me your understanding about tree. Give some example. He said, this is the tree. I said, okay. I said, Bhagavan Krishna is not talking about that tree. Then, Urdhva Moolam Adashakam, we eat from above. Moola is the one which gives the food, isn't it? So we eat from above. Urdhva Moolam Adashakam. Ashwatham, constantly changing. And Avyayam, the body is constantly changing, but the one which is supporting the body is ever the same. See? Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara prapti dhirastatra namuyati. Nothing happens to us. See, my friends, therefore, what is Jani? Jani Dehatmata Buddhi Shrunutvam Brahma Rakshasa. Then, Kasma Chite Nopalabdhi Kena Va Sopalabhyate Jani Katham Va Samprapta Vada Etad Nrupanandara. Next question. He says, Kasmat Etad Chite Na Upalabdhi. When the consciousness is all pervading, why it is not available to us? See? Why not available to us? How simple it is. Now take this example to understand how, although available, yet not available to us. Now, how many fingers? 5. Where is the attention? On the fingers, on the finite. Now, they are 5 only because in between there is no finger. So we are observing both the presence of the shape and the form and also the absence of the shape and the form. But we focus mainly on the name and the form, and therefore that because of which multiplicity happens, we miss it. See? It is for this purpose the japa technique is different. Our japa technique is like taking Ayurvedic medicine. Khallas. But Lord's name should be chanted like we eat the chocolate. How we eat the chocolate? We put it in the mouth and take a glass of water home. No. It is parked in a parking lot. And then it continues for half an hour, 45. Like that, Bhagwan's name is chanted. See, So when you are chanting the Lord's name, in between the two names, whatever is the silence, there you be for a longer period of time. So Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And when you feel that some thought is likely to come, again fire. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. And one day the following thing will happen to you. You will come to know that all the sounds are born out of silence and they go back to the silence. And both the sounds and silence are illuminated by us, who is beyond the presence of the sound and the absence of the sound. Dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sanyahi. Dvandva is dualism. Joy and absence of joy. Asti nasti. So we are aware of both the presence of the sound and the absence of the sound. So how do we start now? We first give importance to the sound. Then we widen the gap. Then give importance to the silence. And when we give importance to silence, we are likely to become obsessed. Meditation in progress, don't disturb, keep silence. They are already disturbed. Those who are giving too much importance to silence, they become allergic to sounds. We have to go beyond that. Because I am supporting both. Waking and dream is like the sound. Deep sleep and samadhi is like the absence of sound. All four of them are supported. Mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha. देखो महाराज, therefore why the chiti, kasmanno chite upalabdhi, why the consciousness is not available to us? Because we are too much occupied with the world. Why we are occupied with the world? Because we are giving undue importance to the possessions and relations. See? Don't give too much importance to this. The world has always been like this. Life is a time pass. See? Bhagwan Ram came and went. Problem is still there. Bhagwan Krishna came. He could not protect his own Dwarka. His own children were a problem for him. See? When Bhagwan Krishna suffered because of his own children, you will be happy. See? How important. And therefore he created a situation wherein all his children, they will fight among each other and die, so that the nation will be free from the Yadavas. And there also Bhagwan failed. All Yadavas didn't die. They are still there. They are continuing. See, friends. Therefore, don't get too much involved in this world. The more we understand this, we are at peace with ourselves. Aviveka nopalabdhi atmanaha sopalabhyate jani kartrutva abhimana shrunutvam brahma rakshasa. So why this consciousness is not available, avivekat, na upalabdhi atmana. See? Avivek. Avivek means what? We are obsessed with something or the other. Now, if we want to come out of this avivek obsession, Bhagavad Gita, I think 5th verse, 15th chapter. Dvandvaihi vimukta sukha-dukkha sajnaihi gachanti amudhaha. Amudhaha gachanti means you attain freedom from foolishness. When? This simple technique. Dvandvaihi vimukta. The complementary opposites do not trouble you. Presence or absence of things and beings have no impact on us. See? थोड़े गम है, थोड़ी खुशियाँ. Are we not practicing that day, night? Do we fight with the day and night? No, we accept it. And then we adjust ourselves. Similarly, health and disease, birth and death, everything in this world is available only in pairs. Except Paramatma, there is nothing which is singular. See? And therefore, first person singular, Yasmat Charamati Tuham Aksharada Vichottamaha Atosmi Loke Vedecha Pratita Purushottamaha. Which Purushottama? Yasmat Kshara Atituham Aksharada Vichottamaha. I am beyond the first person and second person in English. See? Therefore, I am Uttam Purusha. In Sanskrit, first person singular is called as Uttam Purush. Thus, Madhyam Purush is the second person of English. And Pratham Purush is the third person of English. So Bhagavan says, Yasmat, because I am other than the second person and third person. See? And therefore, this first person singular does not have a plural. See? Thou, second person singular. You, second person plural. He, she, it, third person singular. They, third person singular. I, first person singular. Uttam Purush. What is the plural of I? We. We includes both first person, second person, third person. Because the I is only one. And therefore, Prathita Purushottama. See, my friends. Therefore, aviveka nopalabdhi atmana sopya labhyate jani kartrutva abhimanat shrunu tvam brahma rakshasa. So we have to get out of this aviveka, wrong notions. What are wrong notions? Number one, we want to help others. Never try that. Nobody can help anybody. Second thing, try to help make somebody happy. God has failed to make you happy. You, the miserable, will love to make others happy. See? What is the secret why God is happy? He doesn't try to make anybody happy. ठीक है, ठीक है. चलते रहो. See, friends, never struggle to make anybody happy, and you don't have to do anything to make others miserable. Everybody is self-sufficient. कोई जरूरत नहीं. See, friends, remain with yourself at peace. Don't get involved in this world, not necessary. So, avivekat no upalabdhi atmana sopalabhyate jani, then kartrutva abhimana shrunu. See, and how the birth is born, how we are born again and again, kartrutva abhimanat. See, I have done this thing, I have done that. I or asmat pratyay is the maximum that is used. iPhone, iPad. And poor husband, I paid. He has to pay. See, friend, I. The sky is too high. Therefore, kartrutva abhimanat. So how to get out of it? Jo thari rahe, so mhari rahe. Number one. Number two, if you are following the path of surrender or devotion, you are not in the purview of law of karma. Law of karma is when there is somebody doing something. Like the traffic rules are applied only on the one who is driving the car, not the passengers. In the same manner, our driver is Kanhaiya Lal. अब रिलैक्स हो जाओ. Otherwise, we will never be able to get out of this mess of our life. Now, again he asks the question. कहाँ अविवेकः त्वया प्रोक्तः तथात्मा वापि को भवेत् को वा कर्तृत्व अभिमानः वद एतत् नृपनन्दन. Now his questions, again after everything he will ask one more question. See? What you said, because of the aviveka, lack of discrimination, this thing happened. So what is the meaning of lack of discrimination? And what is the meaning of the Atma? You say the self is the Atma. What is the meaning of Atma? And what is the meaning of doership, kartrutva abhiman? Please tell me. Now the teacher, the Rajaputra tells, avivekah apruthak jnanam atmanam pruchhatvatmani tad vasana abhimanasya shrudutvam brahma rakshasa. See how beautiful it is. First, recognizing oneself to be one with the body. See? This is called as aviveka, lack of discrimination. Now, I don't know how to explain this. The glasses are not looking at you. Behind the glasses there are eyes. Eyes are not looking at you. Behind the eyes there is somebody. See, in the same manner, here the teacher says, there is somebody behind the body. When somebody dies, the body is lying there. And in that dead body, you put it on the fire. And when you put the fire, he says, hey, garam hai yaar jada. No. Nobody is there. Work on this one principle. This is what I do. Where we are sitting, straight away, what it is like being other than the body. Don't become a Brahma Rakshas to ask questions. Work on yourself. What it is like being other than the body. We become non-plus. So, I am other than the mic. What does it mean? It means all the attributes of the mic, they do not belong to me. So I am other than that. So if I am other than the body, means what? What are the attributes of the body? Body has, to begin with, a shape. So if I am other than the body means what? I have no form. Now start working on it. What it is like being formless. Be very attentive. Mind cannot survive without name and form. Name and form is the food for the survival of the mind. Give the mind formlessness. as the object of contemplation, mind dissolves. And dissolved mind is consciousness. So, ice is grossified water, see, and water is melted ice. In the same manner, consciousness with form is mind, and mind without form is consciousness. So either give this as the object of contemplation for the mind, formlessness. And this technique also I told you, sit in your room, dark room, not even a small little light, absolute dark. You cannot see your own hand, so dark. And keep your eyes open. Because eyes are open, seeing is happening. Because there is nothing to see, because in darkness eyes cannot operate. So seeing is happening, but because there is nothing to see, and therefore seer is not born, so seeing without a seer is Paramatma. Itna आसान है. I don't think it is. Go to Kailash Manas and take bath in the Manas Sarovar. Dip yourself up to the neck, maybe for about 2-3 hours. Then what will happen? You will not come back. Gatva nani vartante. We don't like simple things. We like complicated things. See? Therefore, the more you become aware of this, aviveko apruthak jnanam, atmanam pruchat satmani, tad vasana abhimanasyad shrunutvam brahma rakshasa. Therefore, what is aviveka? We mistake ourselves to be finite with reference to the body. See? And exactly what happens in sleep, be attentive, our individual mind merges in the total mind. Like there is one earth, one water, one fire, one air, one space. Similarly, there is one mind. Now, like one earth is divided by imaginary lines. Up to here, Pakistan. Up to here, Bhutan. Up to here, India. Are they real? See? Therefore, when our mind has, rather when the total mind has taken the shape of the body, individuality is born. In deep sleep, the individual mind merges back to the total mind. Like the ice cube merges in the total waters. Therefore, there is nobody, you can't see him separate. It is merged in the waters. Exactly the same way. In deep sleep, our mind has been taking the shape of the object. What is the object? Body. And because of that, all the thinking happens with reference to the body. How simple it is. This I learnt on some airport. I had a phone in my hand and I had to fill in something. So the phone was in my hand and I forget things. Therefore I didn't leave it anywhere. Then in that hand I kept a pen and I could not make my signature proper. Why? Because the grip on this object influenced my performance, is it not? In the same manner, when our mind is identified with our body, all the thinking is influenced by the body identification. See, you take the kids, For me, kids are all kids only. But for you people, my son, my daughter, my granddaughter, mama, samsara begins. Because we start thinking in relation to that. This is aviveka. See? Therefore, recognize yourself to be someone other than the body. This is what is the extremely subtle and most effective spiritual practice. Wherever you are sitting, just work on it. What it is like being other than the body. Don't go to sleep. Because our training is when the body identification drops, we go to sleep. And therefore you will see many people when they sit for meditation, they sleep. And then there are questions about it. Swamiji, why some people do meditation like this in our ashram? That is called a jhatka meditation. We have trained our mind to go to sleep if it is free from thoughts. Thought-free, non-sleeping mind. See, friends. And in such a pure mind, the intensity of inquiry becomes deeper. Then you don't stop there, then you continue further. If I am not the body, what does it mean? Then the whole worldly objects are important to me only with reference to the body. If I am not the body, then worldly objects can't have influence on me. So, the possessiveness of the worldly things and the impact thereof will be reduced. Relations begin only after body identification. So, when we are practicing this, then we come to know that it is our mistake that we think ourselves to be body avivekat, and therefore we suffer. See? And what is the kartrutva abhiman? That was the question. That the notion that I am doing the things, I am doing the things. The hands by which we do the things is not created by us. The legs by which we walk and pluck somebody else's flower, that legs are not created by us. One lady in Lonavala came and gave me a big rose flower. Swamiji, I love you, therefore I got flower from you. I said, you have stolen it from my garden. And you are giving me. The flower you are not created. The legs by which you went to that plant and plucked it, the legs are not created. The hand, and you are giving to me, you are not created in me also. But I am giving you. What you are giving? See, friends. Therefore, this kartrutva abhiman is the one of the worst thing in life. Therefore, how to get out of it? Jo thari rahe so mari raha hai. ठीक है, बढ़िया है. Give it a chance and be happy. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.